Good morning, this is Carrie Prince from Apollo Career Center, and this morning I am making that Marry Me chicken that's all over social media right now. I wanted to try it. So I've got 4 chicken breasts searing in a couple tablespoons of olive oil in my cast iron skillet. While that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and mince up my garlic. This has got the sun-dried tomato, garlic, a little chicken stock, some oregano, basil. It just sounded so good. And the name, the Marry Me chicken, is if you make it for a significant other, they're going to want to marry you because it's so good. We'll see. All right, so I've got my garlic minced up, and like I said, I've seared these chicken breasts just to seal in the juices. I've put some salt and pepper on them. I'm going to pull them from the skillet right now. So I'm going to make the sauce, and then we'll add the chicken back in. There. Okay, so I'm going to put the garlic right into the cast iron skillet. And I like the cast iron because then it can go right into the oven and you're not switching pans. I've got about 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock, about a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. I should have seared that garlic a little bit more. I kind of rushed that. So cook your garlic just till it's fragrant. You don't want to overcook it, obviously. All right, we're going to let that put my heat up just a little bit. I'm going to add to that a 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Give it a little bit of flavor. And then a teaspoon of dried oregano. And then we want to do about a 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Now, I just bought these already julienned, already in the oil. So I'm just going to add about a 1/2 cup straight from the jar right into this pot. That might have been a little bit more, but this is the main ingredient, so we want that to be good. So we're just going to let this simmer together. Add a little salt and pepper. Now, as this cooks, obviously that cream is going to help thicken this up, give it a lot of flavor. So we're going to let that cook just for a minute. Oh, it looks good and smells good. Now I'm going to add this chicken back into this skillet. So you're going to want to cook this 4 or 5 minutes, let it get a little bit thick, but I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken back in. And then we are going to put this into a 375-degree oven for about 15-20 minutes until your chicken is 165 degrees. And I'm kind of really coating this chicken, turning it around and around so that it will really get all that flavor. So we're going to pop this in the oven. This is our Marry Me chicken. It came right out of the oven. I did forget to put in the grated Parmesan cheese into that sauce, and that'll give it a little bit more thickening power. So I just pulled this right out of the oven. You want to make sure, of course, like I said, your chicken reaches 165 degrees. I'm going to spoon a little bit of this sauce on there. Now the finishing touch is to chiffonade some basil. Knife over here. So when you chiffonade basil, you want to make sure you're rolling it. That's so that you're not going to bruise the basil. The leaves are rather tender. So we're just going to roll this basil up like this and then cut it into, it's almost just like julienning it, cutting into very thin strips, but the correct term is to chiffonade. Now I'm going to just add that onto the chicken, and this is our Marry Me chicken, and this and all the recipes can be found at apollocareercenter.com. First edition will be right back.